Welcome to another deep dive. This time, we're rocketing into the world of the Starfinder role-playing game.
Awesome.
So strap yourselves in, get ready for alien encounters, starship battles, and,
Magic.
oh, yeah, tons of magic, but with a twist. We'll be using official Starfinder resources, by the way, so.
Yeah, all the info straight from the source.
If you've ever thought about jumping into Starfinder, whether you're a seasoned role player or
Brand new to the whole thing.
this deep dive is going to give you the rundown. You'll know if it's a game for you.
What's cool is Starfinder takes that whole Pathfinder universe, the one everyone loves,
Yeah.
and it blasts it into this far future setting. So imagine magic and tech, not just like existing side by side,
But they're totally woven together.
yeah, intertwined in ways you wouldn't believe.
So for anyone who's like, wait, role-playing games, what even are those? It's basically,
You create a character, right?
yeah, you and your friends, each with their own skills, backstory.
All unique.
Then, with a game master, kind of like a guide, you go on these epic quests.
Face challenges.
Make choices that actually shape the story. And,
Roll some dice.
of course, gotta have dice. And the Starfinder universe, oh man.
It's not just your typical sci-fi thing.
Right. Forget that. This is a galaxy jam-packed with alien species, bustling space stations.
It's like Absalom Station.
Ah, yeah, the central hub for everything. Trade, intrigue, you name it.
And don't forget the planets, ripe for exploration.
Oh, totally. Like, picture Akiton, this desert planet where everyone's fighting over ancient ruins.
Or Castroville, completely covered in jungle.
mystical stuff, hidden temples, the works.
You could even be on Versailles, an ocean world with floating cities.
So cool. Underwater civilizations, I bet.
Each location is basically an adventure waiting to happen.
And making your caricature your hero and all this, the choices, I mean, it's crazy.
7 classes to start with. Each one plays totally different.
So you could be this elite soldier, a super cunning operative.
Maybe charismatic envoy.
Oh yeah, smooth talker. Or a mind-bending mystic.
Tech-savvy mechanic.
Oh, and a Solarian. They channel the power of stars, which is
Oh,
totally, wait, and then there's,
the technomancer.
right, the technomancer. Now that's interesting.
They're not just futuristic mages, they actually rewrite the rules of magic. Like they blend it with tech.
That's got to be core to what makes Starfinder unique.
For sure. Imagine wearing powered armor, sleek,
Yeah.
and firing a magic laser rifle. It's so Starfinder.
That image is perfect. But hold on, the character choices, they don't stop there.
No way.
You get to pick your species too. Each one has a place in the galaxy with unique traits.
Like, want to be a stoic dwarf.
Classic.
Or nimble Isoki. They're like space rats. Super cool.
I love those. Or Shurin, they've got telepathic powers.
So many options.
Well, once you've made this awesome character,
You got to figure out where they fit.
in the galaxy, it's full of factions and organizations. Everyone wants power.
For sure. You've got the Pact Worlds, a bunch of societies working together.
Sounds kind of utopian, honestly.
But then there's the Viscarium. They're all about strength, expansion.
Led by the Vesk, those reptilian guys.
Yeah. And don't forget the Aslanti Star Empire. They want their old glory back.
They're shrouded in so much mystery.
Then you've got religious factions, too, like the Church of Iomade, all
Yeah.
chivalry and valor,
Yeah.
versus something like the Cult of the Devourer, way more sinister.
So much conflict, but cooperation too. It's a wild mix.
Makes the galaxy feel alive,
Totally. But before we get too ahead of ourselves, we got to cover something crucial to ANHW role-playing game.
Feats and skills.
Exactly. Those things add depth to your character, let you specialize.
Like you could be amazing at starship combat or hacking or even diplomacy.
So many possibilities. Feats are those special abilities your character develops.
Skills show how good they are at different things.
So you're not just a generic soldier. You could be a master sniper.
Or a skilled negotiator.
Or a tech expert who can hack anything.
It's all about making your character truly yours
Right, not some pre-made hero. You're shaping their destiny.
and making them fit your playstyle.
Now, every story needs conflict, right? So what are our heroes up against?
Oh, this isn't just bandits and goblins. We're talking Starfinder threats here.
Lay it on me.
Ravenous alien creatures in uncharted territory, ancient undead empires,
Ooh, those are creepy.
and cosmic horrors. Things that defy logic, sanity, the whole deal.
I bet space is full of creepy stuff.
And then there are the deities, some good, some bad.
But all powerful.
Oh yeah, capable of messing with reality itself.
So, no shortage of danger for those who want adventure. But how do our heroes face all that?
Well, there are laser swords and spaceships, for sure.
Gotta have those.
But it's more than that. Starfinder blends high-tech and magic in this unique way.
It's not one OR the other. It's finding that sweet spot where they work together.
Right, like those magic laser rifles we talked about.
Oh, yeah, that image was so cool.
It captures that whole idea perfectly.
But it's not just weapons. Think powered armor, gadgets for hacking, healing, even teleporting.
And magic items.
Yeah.
Long-range weapons.
Plasma swords.
All working together to create this crazy combat experience.
So futuristic gadgets, A&D, magical artifacts, what a mix.
It's not just superficial either. It's woven into everything in Starfinder.
The societies, the threats, how you overcome them, all of it.
Exactly.
Speaking of overcoming threats, no space adventure is complete without her.
Starships.
You knew it. I mean, who hasn't dreamed of captaining their own ship soaring through space?
When in Starfinder, it's a huge part of the game.
So it's not just a vehicle. It's like an extension of your character.
Exactly. It's your base, your platform for adventure.
Yeah.
And customizing it, that's the best part.
Oh, man, I can imagine.
Like you're building your dream ship, then taking it into these epic battles.
So I'm in a high-tech workshop, right? Holographic blueprints everywhere.
Gleaming components, all the cool stuff.
What kind of options are we talking here?
Well, first, got to pick a ship type that fits your crew. Do you want a fighter, a carrier, a stealthy transport, or...
Ooh, what about an explorer? Something that can handle any environment.
Perfect for someone who wants to discover new stuff. Go off the beaten path.
That's me. But how do I make it my explorer? What can I upgrade?
You can boost its defenses with shields, deflectors.
Reinforced hull plating.
Yep. More firepower with lasers, missiles, torpedoes.
Even cloaking devices. Teleporters.
Maybe even artificial gravity generators.
This is where I geek out. I'm going to spend so much time optimizing my ship.
And remember, no two ships are the same. Each one reflects the crew, you know?
It's like your personality is built into the ship itself.
Makes it even more personal.
So cool. But who's actually flying this amazing ship? Just one person or a whole crew?
Teamwork's key. During combat, each player has a specific role. Everyone's vital.
So it's more than just shooting at the enemy.
Way more. It's dynamic. Every decision matters. Everyone has their moment to shine.
Okay, break it down for me. Who are the key players? What do they do?
All right, so you've got the pilot. They got to maneuver the ship, dodge fire, position for attacks.
And stressful.
Then there's the gunner. They handle the weapons, targeting, firing.
They bring the boom.
But strategy is important too. That's where the captain comes in. They set the course, make the tough calls.
Like a starship admiral, leading the fleet to glory.
But even admirals need intel, right? That's the science officer's job. They analyze, find weaknesses.
Provide vital info.
And of course, no ship runs without an engineer. They fix damage, keep things going.
The unsung heroes. So it's not just a mindless shootout, it's a team effort.
Exactly. Strategy, teamwork, and a bit of luck.
Makes it so much fun. Now, gotta ask about something I've always wondered. How does magic work in a world of spaceships?
Right. Great question. Starfinder has two ways. Mysticism and technomancy. Each one's different.
So mystics are like your classic wizards drawing on cosmic energy.
Right. But technomancers, they're something else. They blend magic with technology.
Like a magical hacker. So cool.
Totally. It shows how Starfinder blends these different things so well.
And there's a whole system to explore, right? Different schools of magic, traditions, even specializations.
Tons of spells in the core rulebook, and even more in books like Galactic Magic.
So if you love magic systems, Starfinder's a dream come true.
And it's not just memorizing spells, it's understanding magic, adapting, combining it with tech.
Endless possibilities. But before we get lost in spells and starship battles, gotta talk stories.
Ah, yes. That's what makes Starfinder come alive. It's all about the stories we create.
So what kind of adventures are we talking? Saving the galaxy, something more personal?
Both. You could be stopping a villain, uncovering secrets, exploring, but you also form bonds, face dilemmas.
It's finding that balance between epic scope and character-driven moments.
Exactly. That's what makes it so compelling. You can have grand sagas and personal stories.
This deep dive has been a wild ride so far. But before part 2, a question for our listeners. In a galaxy full of wonders, what does it even mean to be human?
Ooh, that's a good one.
It's something Starfinder makes you think about, and we'll explore it more next time.
Can't wait.
We'll delve into those ethical dilemmas, those big questions, and the stories that make Starfinder so unique. Stay tuned.
Yeah, that question of what's human. And when you've got, like, androids with feelings and bugs with telepathy, that's huge EE in Starfinder.
It really makes you think about what does it mean to be intelligent, to be conscious, like what's truly alive?
Right. It challenges all those assumptions we have.
I love that about this deep dive so far. It's not just spaceships and rules, it's these big questions.
Legacy things.
So let's talk more about that humanity in
Yeah.
Starfinder. What kind of situations would players face that really challenge them?
Okay, imagine landing on this planet where everyone's got cybernetics, AI built right into them.
Like, it's normal for them.
Totally. Would you see them as equals? With their own culture, values? Or just fancy machines?
It's tough. Or what if you find this ancient artifact, super advanced tech, but to use it, you gotta exploit people. Do you choose progress or protecting the vulnerable?
Starfinder's full of those choices.
Yeah.
It's not black and white.
No easy answers.
It's a galaxy of gray areas. Even good intentions can backfire.
That's where the role-playing gets really interesting.
For sure, your choices matter.
Okay, I'm getting chills just thinking about the moral dilemmas. But before we get too philosophical, let's talk character creation again.
Back to the classes.
Yeah. We touched on the 7, but what makes each one unique?
Each one's got a specific style and archetype they fit. Like the soldier, that's your classic warrior.
Yeah, the frontline fighter.
Totally. Tactics, weapons, inspiring their allies, charging into battle, leading the charge.
I can see myself doing that. Laser rifle blazing, shouting battle cries.
But what if you're more, like, silent but deadly? Shadows and all that.
Ooh, I like that.
Then the operatives for you. Infiltration, espionage, hitting where they least expect it.
Space ninjas.
Basically, high-tech gadgets, disabling security, intel gathering, taking down targets with precision.
Now that's a character I could play. Always one step ahead.
But maybe you're more of a talker, not a fighter, charming your way through things.
Building alliances, galactic scale diplomacy.
That's the envoy. They're diplomats, negotiators, smooth talkers who can diffuse anything with words.
Instead of weapons.
Exactly. Persuasion, understanding cultures, bridging those gaps between different societies.
They're like the glue holding the galaxy together.
In a way, yeah. Their skills are just as important as any soldiers.
So we've got warriors, spies, diplomats. What about those who want knowledge? The mysteries of the universe.
You mean the mystics. They're like conduits for cosmic energy, tapping into ancient powers.
Unraveling secrets.
Yeah, they might specialize in healing, seeing the future, telekinesis, even messing with space and time.
Space wizards.
Basically, ending reality, tapping into those hidden forces.
But what about those who like both tech and magic?
The technomancers. We talked about them before.
They blur the lines.
Totally. Hacking with spells, magic-infused weapons, even constructs powered by both tech and magic.
That's what makes Starfinder so cool. It's not just future with a bit of magic. It's this whole integrated thing.
For sure, the lines are always shifting.
And the Technomancer embodies that perfectly.
They see those connections others miss, blending things in new ways.
They're the innovators, the ones pushing the boundaries.
Always coming up with something new.
I love it. But we're still missing a couple classes, right? The machine lovers and the cosmic energy folks.
Oh, right. There's the mechanic, the ultimate tinkerer. Building, modifying anything they can get their hands on.
Custom drones, super fast repairs, even exosuits.
They're like future gearheads.
Always tinkering in their workshop.
And then there's the Solarian channeling starlight, celestial energy.
Whoa.
They're like warriors of light with radiant blades, starlight shields. They can even mess with gravity.
So powerful. Crushing their enemies with the force of a star.
Each class is so distinct, it's amazing.
It's not just what they can do, it's how they do it, how they approach the world.
And how they fit into the galaxy.
Which brings us to...
GCCs.
Yeah. We talked about androids, Isoki, Shurin, but there's so much more, right?
You could be a dwarf, an elf, a halfling, even a Vesk. Each one has unique traits, looks, culture.
It's not just picking what looks cool, it's about understanding them, how they think.
How their history, their bodies, everything affects how they adventure.
It adds another layer to your character, making them feel real.
Part of the universe.
You build them from the ground up, then watch them come to life in the game.
And it's not just about individuals, right? There are those bigger forces at play too.
The factions, the organizations.
We mentioned the big ones, but there's a whole web of smaller groups underneath, each with their own goals.
Corporations, religious orders, criminals, even radicals.
It's like a galaxy-wide power struggle.
Everyone wants something. It's constantly changing.
And it affects everyday life too. The laws, the culture, even the tech people use.
It's not just a backdrop. It's a living system.
And as players, you interact with it all, making allies, enemies, even changing the course of events.
Your choices matter. They have ripple effects.
You could change a planet's fate or even the balance of power in the galaxy.
Wow. It's a reminder that even in sci-fi, politics and society matter.
It makes the universe feel real.
Okay, enough serious stuff. Let's talk about something more exciting. Starships.
Back to our favorite spaceships.
You know it. We talked about customizing them, but where do you even get a starship in the first place?
Several ways, actually. You could buy one, but that's going to be expensive.
What about salvaging? Finding a derelict ship and fixing it up?
Risky, but potentially rewarding, especially if you find something rare.
Like a treasure hunt, but for starship parts.
Exactly. Or you could commission a custom build if you have the credits and a specific design in mind.
That's the dream. A ship made just for you.
Once you have that ship, though, then the fun really begins.
Time to trick it out.
Weapons, defenses, the works, energy shields, deflectors, reinforced plating.
Lasers, missiles, torpedoes, all the good stuff.
Experimental tech, too. Things that bend the rules of physics.
I can see myself spending hours tweaking and upgrading my ship.
It's like a giant Lego set, but way cooler.
But it's not just about firepower, right?
Nope. Maneuverability, speed, sensors, even life support, it all matters.
You want a ship that's powerful, A&D, adaptable.
Ready for anything the galaxy throws at you.
It's a constant process, upgrading and adapting as you go.
But what about the crew? We talked about their roles in combat, but can they switch those roles up?
Like if someone needs to cover a different position.
You can definitely be flexible. You might need to adjust to unexpected situations.
So it's not just rigid rules, it's about adapting on the fly.
Using your crew's skills effectively, thinking strategically.
It makes combat more dynamic, more challenging.
It's not just about shooting, it's about outmaneuvering, outsmarting your opponent.
Sounds intense.
And thrilling. It's a test of skill, strategy, and teamwork.
Wow, we've covered a lot today. From deep questions about humanity to customizing your perfect starship.
It's been quite the deep dive.
But before we move on to part 3, I want to leave our listeners with a challenge.